I get exceptionally excited when looking at fifth wheel RVs like this, or just any RVs that are more tailored towards a family. Because I just got married within the last 2 weeks as of me filming this, and don't have any kids yet, but kids are definitely something that we plan on having. And I have legitimately spent the past decade of my life doing everything I can to try to make it so that I can make as many memories with my kids, be as present for as many different things with my kids as I possibly can. And I cannot wait to be able to travel with my future family in something like this here. So I'm curious if you could see yourself traveling in something like this. Let's go take a look. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are here at a Blue Compass RV store in Albuquerque, New Mexico today, taking a look at this 2025 Grand Design Reflection 311 BHS. You'll be able to see the floor plan layout and the specs on the screen. And of course, as always, if you're looking for your next RV, there's a link down below in the comments and description that will help you find a store close to home for you, as Blue Compass has over 100 different stores in 33 different states where you can find your next RV or maybe your first RV. So as we look at this fifth wheel RV, it's definitely something that's going to require at least like a 3/4 ton truck to tow. So something like a 250 or a 2500. And I want to show you something real quick outside. As we walk back there, you have two awnings here on your campsite. So lots of campsite awning coverage. And gosh, I would just like hope and pray that I could find an audience of younger people that maybe have never even considered this idea of like an RV lifestyle. Because I get it, like for most people, this seems completely unattainable. And it is, unless you are able to shift your mindset into thinking like, if this is something that I want, what do I have to do? What steps are required to attain it? You have to like reverse engineer the whole process of like, okay, I want said thing. What steps do I need to take to get said thing? The last at least 5 years of my life, and really more like the last 10 years of my life, have literally been all tailored around that. And for some reason, I have like a specific, very attached idea to like having a family and having kids and being able to travel and do things like this with kids. So I love that this model here has this big outdoor kitchen. You get the griddle cooktop here and the sink. I think the sink is one of the most practical things in an outdoor kitchen because it allows you to wash your hands, rinse off cups, different things like that without having to step foot inside of the RV, take your shoes off and go through that whole process there. Nice solid hardwood cabinetry out here, and then you have this storage space, and then you're also going to have, this is all metal materials here, drawer that pulls out there, and a refrigerator here. And one thing that just like makes me so bummed out for our my generation and the younger generation behind me, as we go down this way, you have ABS on your oh my gosh, you have an ABS system here with your brakes. My goodness, I don't know why I stumbled over that wording there. And it has a Moride CRE 3000 suspension system, and you have the Goodyear Endurance tires. But a lot of people that are younger than me or around my age, it seems like they just like completely given up hope at even having the ability to obtain stuff like this. And it's like, that's not the case. That's not really reality. It's a reality you're being convinced of because nobody's telling you that you can go out and achieve greater things. You can do more. It's just going to require more effort. And I hope that, you know, as people that are in their teens and 20s, as they get older, that people still have an interest in going out and traveling in these ways with their family. We have a privacy screen here that's already installed on this door, and when we walk inside, oh, you also have a screen defender, so bring your dogs along with you or anything like that, and that screen door is protected. And as we walk inside, really like the look in here. Of course, share your thoughts on what you think about this camper, and then I'm also curious just y'all's like opinions and things of just what we're seeing in society abroad as well. This is something I spend a lot of my time outside of RVs thinking about, and it is something that really perplexes my mind, just thinking about how a lot of people have even given up the idea that even having like a family is a possibility, which is so sad to me because it's true that it may be harder for some areas in a younger generation, but it's also true that there's just not a lot of people out there telling people that it is possible to have a family, and there's certainly steps that you can take to like be financially literate and work yourself up in the work field. Like one thing I don't talk about much, but I saved this for more of my Firmly Unbound videos, is like I bounced around to over like 10 different jobs before I found myself in the RV world, because I was never ever willing to settle for a job that wasn't going to like have the opportunity for me to grow in. If even if it was a job I just needed to take because I needed the money and it offered me a pay raise, I was always looking for pay raises. I never went down in pay to any job I ever jumped to. And I continually was getting the most out of whatever job I was at, and as soon as I like maximize that opportunity, it's on to the next one. And it doesn't matter how long it takes to get to the next one, we're not staying here. Here is not an option. You got to keep moving up. Even when I started selling RVs, just strictly selling RVs and selling RVs alone was not enough. I have to be the best at it, like the best that I can possibly be. I don't have to be the best in the country, but I definitely have to be the best that I can be. And on top of that, what more can I do to separate myself from everybody else that's in this space? That can be different for everybody, but we live in a reality now where if you're not willing to think life through those steps, you're right, maybe having a family isn't attainable. And that's so sad for me because these are like things that aren't even that hard. Like to me, it just feels like that's being human. Like you have to constantly be working your way up to try to find a better positioning in life. And maybe some people just don't want that. That's understandable, but I know there's a lot of people I talk to that want families and things like that, but they also aren't like taking any of those steps. So I would hope like seeing something like this, I just think this is so cool. I think about the idea of like kids waking up in the morning and you can be making your cup of coffee. You have big campsite windows looking out into your campsite. If this dang camper wasn't blocking us, there's a big old mountain right behind there you could be looking out at. You have your dining table here. This can make into a bed if you need additional sleeping. Pull down blackout shades on your windows so you get that nice privacy there. A little bit of additional storage here where they could have done a bigger window in this space, but giving you more storage so you have that additional space to work with. Even nice storage worked into this area right here. See that shelving there? And then you have USB type A and type C ports here for charging, little flip up armrest so you can cuddle here in this space if you want to, especially thinking about having kids. You know, your kids can cuddle up with you in this space. You can watch a movie. Now, one thing that I'm not a huge fan of in this floor plan compared to maybe some others is it doesn't have the most like family friendly seating if people want to sit down and enjoy a movie together, which I could see the possibility for wanting something like that. But also I know for like my kids in their formative years, when we're talking like ages like 4 to 13, probably maybe like 11, I want them off the screens as much as humanly possible. Like I would be perfectly fine owning an RV of any class with no TVs in it whatsoever. Like if we're in the camper, we're going to be doing things like reading books. You can play cards, you can play board games. This is what my family did in our campers when I was growing up. And if not, go outside, spend your time outside, go get dirty, go hurt yourself, whatever, like go outside. That's my philosophy. So that doesn't bother me too much. Electric fireplace, that's an electric heat source for you, which will be great to have. You have that storage space through here. No wiring going to the TV from that area. You can see storage going through here, your JBL sound system, and storage there. So it looks like if you want to hook anything up to this TV, it is going to just have to kind of sit on this shelf behind the TV, or you're going to have to run the wiring out through a cabinet, because I do not see anywhere where any wiring is able to reach that TV through the storage spots here. Solid surface countertops in this area, great LED lighting underneath that countertop, outlets here on both sides of the island. And then as we go this way, you have your pantry space, plenty of room for all the food for all the kids. This here is not terrible. It's a nice wide cooktop, which is gonna still give you room to spin your pots and pans around and stuff like that. It is a little close to this wall. Not a big deal though. You are a little limited on countertop space. You at least have enough countertop space to lay out utensils like a spoon or something like that in this area, but not the most for sure. And that's because this is aiming to be a more lightweight fifth wheel RV that still offers a bath and a half bunk model. There's certainly bigger options out there if you're willing to go bigger, but this is definitely more designed for that person that has a 3/4 ton truck and wants to comfortably tow something with a 3/4 ton truck and doesn't want to have to go to like a 1 ton dually. About a 16 cubic foot refrigerator and freezer. This comes with a TravelFi Wi-Fi system, so it basically has a built-in Wi-Fi router here. So you can see that there. So very nice to have that just standard already coming in this model. That's something that's very rare. In your island, you have a centered sink here, so you have equal countertop space on both sides. Have your drawer that opens up here. This is nice solid wood construction in this area. Be curious to see if the rest is like that. Under here, you got your spot for your trash can. And then under here, individual shutoff valves for the water lines. That's nice. Like to see that. Soft close cabinet doors with magnet latches to hold those in place. Plywood drawer construction with staples on these drawers. And then you have 3 drawers in this area. Then you have your coffee bar area that kind of extend this countertop space out so you can, you know, fit larger items in here if you want to do like an Instapot or a crock pot or something like that. 3 drawers in this space, 2 more little drawers here. That's actually quite a bit of space in those drawers. And then just a little bit of storage down under there. Not soft close on those, surprisingly. Those just slam shut. Got your shelving here, tinted glass cabinet doors, and then USB port type A and type C underneath there. These are soft close cabinet doors. Storage all through this area. And then this is like a stick-on backsplash that does have nice framing here to hold it in place. Outlet there and there. And then the last thing is under here, you have access to that storage and your breakers right there. Then as we go back into the bunk room, really cool space here. As I walked back, just was looking at the roof. You have an AC in this space that is ducted throughout the camper, a big Max Air vent fan there, and then you will have a second AC on this fifth wheel. So we go back into this area. We have the sofa already out into the bed formation, so you can see the sleeping surface you'll have there. Once we flip this up, that'll free up all the floor space. You have a pretty dang good sized bunk up here. This is larger than some other bunks that you'll see in this space. It's just a bit wider. Definitely a bit bigger surface for, you know, a larger kid to sleep on. It flips up out of the way and it does have a strut to hold that in place. Light down underneath here. And then if we flip this backrest up, these sofas are very easy to maneuver around. Just go like this, kick these legs in. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but it can be done. And drop that down. Now you have a sofa here, backrest just go in place, and now your kids have a spot to sit and hang out. This could even be like a possible, you know, homeschooling type RV for somebody. I know like that's something Megan and I are pretty adamant about, that we will be homeschooling our kids. So having a spot where they can hang out in this space, work on schoolwork. You could get some kind of freestanding table for this area if you wanted. Spot for a TV if you want to do that. Nice shelving here, like some great storage in this space actually compared to some other bunk models. Even with having the outdoor kitchen built in behind this area, you still get some really good storage in this space. That's a removable shelf right there. 3 drawers. And then this bunk is an oversized bunk, so even larger kids can fit in this area. AC ducted back into this bedroom. And then when we go here, you have your porcelain foot flush toilet there, and you have this half bath for the kids to be able to use with a vent fan in this space, so the kids can have their own bathroom. So love this space. Single slide out in here, still plenty of floor space for kids to be able to do things and, like, you know, do activities back here. This bunk bed is a big enough space where a kid could easily have this bunk for themselves and be able to use this for a lot of different areas just to hang out. And for some reason, the lights just dimmed on me. I don't know what happened. My generator's plugged in, so I don't know why the lights would have dimmed, unless maybe they're not drawing from the generator. So I think the AC might have overblown. Yeah, the AC tripped my generator, I think. So we'll go through this pretty quick before we lose power. Back through here, we have a porcelain foot flush toilet for the main bathroom. It is a pass-through bathroom, and at first glance, I was like, corner shower, like not my favorite thing ever. But then I realized the ceiling height in here is pretty fantastic. Like I'm standing at about 6'3" with my shoes on, and good ceiling height here. I do have to duck to get into the shower, but this is just fine. Like it is a little narrow if you're more like broad shouldered or just a bigger human. But other than that, like I could easily make this work just fine. My family, or my parents, they have a fifth wheel RV, a Cougar 364 BHL that has almost the exact same bathroom layout as this, and they've never had issues with their shower being that size. Tankless on-demand water heater, bigger sink right here. It's a plastic sink. Here's liquefied. This is a black tank treatment for your RV that you can use to make sure that everything that goes through your toilet is decomposing properly, keeps your RV smelling fresh, and makes sure that that black tank stays healthy. You can find that in the powder formula or liquid or pods on Amazon. Got some storage down underneath here. Again, individual shut-off valves on the water line, shelving, and then you have a spot here to hang towels. Shelving here, vent fan. So smaller vent fan there, and then you have this slide out here. So this whole area is in a slide out. This allows you to have wardrobe storage that's accessible with this door closed going to the bedroom. So even thinking about maybe your kids taking a shower, like this is where they can put their clothes so that they can get dressed and stuff in this bathroom if they want to, or the parents can, however you kind of want to work that dynamic out. And then you have more storage here that's just accessible from the bedroom side. Pretty interesting because this is a smaller sized, mid-sized fifth wheel RV. It does have steps going up into this area. So you can see here in the bedroom, there are some steps going up this way, meaning you're kind of losing ceiling height as you step forward, but that's not a big deal because you just hop into bed and it's really not something you ever need to be concerned about, but it is something where this roof starts to slant down as well. Second AC here in the bedroom. Obviously you can see it's ducted through here as well. JBL speaker here in the bedroom. And then I just love the bedroom layouts and arrangements here that Grand Design does with their light fixtures. This is a much nicer mattress than you'll typically find on most fifth wheel RVs. Let's see, it's a Serta mattress. And then have a little cubby storage there. Little, like all of this is basically just like little cubby storage essentially. And then you have this shelf up here with outlets in both corners there. And then that's pretty much it here for the bed space. Make sure I didn't miss anything. There's another outlet up there as well, so you can plug in things that you might want to set up here in this area. And then as we go back down this way to the living room, curious what your thoughts are and what you think about like a model like this. If this is something that might be an aspiration of yours to travel with your kids in something like this. I literally, thinking for my own life and my own self, I legitimately cannot wait. There's nothing I'm more excited for in life than the idea of having kids and getting to travel around with kids and make memories with them. Like that is just legitimately priority probably number 2 or 3 in my life. I would say priority number 1. I'm not gonna get into all my priorities. I'll save that stuff for my Firmly Unbound videos. But nonetheless, having kids is like a top 3 priority, and not just having kids, but being able to like live a really cool life with my kids and get to do cool things with them and make memories that are gonna leave impressions on them, that are gonna prepare them for the world, that are gonna get them out into the world, experiencing different things and not just experiencing life behind a screen. You know what I mean? So all that said, let's keep going through. You have 6-point electric auto leveling, solid steps here for your entry door, and then you have this huge storage area here. Because it is a mid-size fifth wheel RV, it does not have the drop frame like your larger fifth wheel RVs will have, meaning that this is just a more shallow storage space. It's not as tall as the bigger full-size fifth wheel RVs. Aluminum framing through here though, welds on both sides of the frame, and you have wrapped flooring up underneath here. 2 30-pound propane bottles prepped to add side cameras. You have a light up here, pretty standard pin box up front here, nothing too crazy with that. Slam latch doors for these storage areas. So if I can get this open here, nice thick baggage door. It's a 60 amp solar charge controller. That tells me there's probably a large solar panel up there. Love that their battery box is just really concise and organized, and then you have your spot for your battery there, or sorry, your wiring box there with your battery disconnect switch. And then going back this way, water connections all inside this space. It's the Nautilus water management system. Then you have your electric auto leveling, tire pressure monitoring system there. It looks like it's prepped to add that. Tankless water heater. And then coming back here, you have these Power Glide slide mechanisms like that. And then your bigger slide here is gonna be a rack and pinion through frame slide mechanism. And when we step back this way, ladder to get up onto the roof. It does have an accessory hitch here along the back that will be rated for 3,000 pounds. And I'm curious to get up onto this roof here and see what we got going on. Oh yeah, that is a big solar panel for sure. Just know with RV ownership, getting up and checking these seals is very important. That's something that you will need to do from day one if you care about your roof not leaking. Just to be safe, even from day one, you should be getting up here or having somebody get up here. I just do it myself because I do not trust somebody else to do it properly. Checking these seals and making sure there's not bubbling that's forming up, making sure there's not cracks or holes or anything forming up, things like that, because that is how your roof will leak. And if you come up here and check that, it's fully preventable, but you have to be willing to do that. What size solar panel is this? This looks like it's either 380 watts or 400 watts. I just can't see a metric up here on this. So not exactly sure, but it's one of those two measurements there. Furrion ACs, and then this one is more of like a low profile Furrion air conditioner up front. And then just like, look at this view. Like, I would just love to be camping somewhere where like, this is your backdrop, you know, you get to see the mountains like this, you get to go to other areas where maybe you're on a beach or whatever it may be. Like, that's really something I aspire towards, and I hope other people will too, because it is attainable. It takes work. It's not easy. It's not a you know, easy cush lifestyle that's gonna lead to maybe being able to obtain these things, but it is possible. It's definitely not outside the realm of possibility. Last couple things, it is prepped to add a backup camera as well, so it doesn't come with one. And then underneath here, you have your spot for where you can store your sewer hose. You have a fully enclosed underbelly with 12-volt heat pads on the water tanks as well. So both your furnace and those 12-volt heat pads that are electric will be there to keep your water tanks warm and prevent them from freezing. Slam latch baggage doors on these exterior storage doors as well. And then that is pretty much everything, y'all. Finally, the price on this is gonna be somewhere in the $70,000 to $80,000 price range. And again, if you're looking for your next RV, there's a link down below in the comments and description to help you find a Blue Compass RV dealership close to you, as they have over 100 different locations. So use that link down there below when you're ready, and we're here to help you out when you're ready. And that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly unbound.